So I've just been to the fabric store and I bought fabric for the one size tunic dress that I'm going to make, and I wanted to make sure it was light. So it's a grey. It's a grey merino wool, really super light. It's got, you can tell, this is really easy to tell the right and wrong side of it. Yay, finally. Anyway, so it's a two-way stretch, so it's got a little bit of a stretch that way, but it's got a lot of a stretch that way. So it's not going to be overly stretchy, and Katie from the fabric store said that it won't stretch as I'm wearing it, which is really what I wanted, because I told her that we had a convo about the design. So I'm really happy with this choice. I was thinking about a natural, and then I remembered how natural falls on your ass if it gets a little bit sticky down there, so it can be a little bit unforgiving. So I just thought this is great. It's light merino wool, so it's going to be great in evenings in Queensland, but you know, with tights and boots etc. in winter, or in Melbourne any time of the year I suppose. But anyway, let's get into laying it up and cutting it up. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be, I think, a new favourite in my wardrobe. I'm going to love it. Okay. So I got my fold, but remember we're going to make this into a dress pattern. So I want to add 25 centimeters to the bottom of this. So I'm just going to wheel it up and add it. It's really easy to add this one. The only thing we're going to change in this pattern is we're just going to keep that taper going in, because you don't want it to be too wide around your legs, and this fabric has a bit of stretch in it, so I'm going to wing it in the sense that I know that it'll give me a little and it won't restrict my leg movements. Okay, a little bit more down. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm getting that 25 centimeters on the bottom, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark out carefully where the rest of my pattern is and where I have to. Alright. Okay, so now I've got that marked out. Now I want to come down and make this pattern bottom go to there. So I'm going to do my bottom cut and mark this out. Okay. So, and then I want to make sure that my line is scalloping in here. So now I have my dress pattern. The only thing I want to mark here is my hem. Come up here and there's a mark. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to see that, so I'm just going to cut it and then I'll come back to that. So finish. Cutting that. And then what I want to do is I want to go back and mark my nicks from the pattern. So don't go in more than 2 or 3 mil. Right, and then it's windy, just doing this out on my balcony. And then I want to lay my pattern down. And oh, got the snip. Okay, that's the front, and now I'm going to do my back. Same thing for my back. Making sure I allow for the 25 centimeters to be added at the bottom. Find it on your grain line, because your grain line will be in line with the grain if you have it up against the fold. So I just want to add 2 or 3 here. Voila. Okay. So I'm adding my 25 centimeters to the bottom along that marker of the grey line. And then what I want to do is from here I want to put back in my back neck piece. Oh my god, this is going to be a well-worn piece of clothing. And then you just slide the pattern down. Find your white marker. Make sure your fabric's straight. And then what I want to do is, as I cut, I want to make sure I put the nicks in. There's a couple there and there's one in the seam. But that is as easy as it is to extend this pattern. For me, I only need 25 centimeters. For you, you might need less, you might need more. And I am going to try it on just before I do the hem and make any last minute adjustments then to my length, because you know, fabric just falls away. Fabric wants to fall. You know, you can speculate all you like, but you should always, always, always make sure you do that last fit before you add waistbands, before you do any of those final additional, you know, adding to the design, so that you don't have to unpick as much, you know. Now, so put that there, and now I'm going to go around and nick my markings. Just little Lego join the dot markers, you know, it just makes you feel confident that you're on the right track. Oops, that was a little bit deep. I'll fold that one. and we're done. Now, the bodice, the front and back are done. I'm going to go get our sleeve. Right, we're going to do the sleeve. We're going to cut this one out a different way. We're going to pin. Oh my God. So again, so I don't have this on the fold. The edge of the fabric is the selvage. Just check, because sometimes what I've noticed, especially in knit fabric, that you can't always go by the selvage, because sometimes, I mean the side of it, you have to go to this little inner, not so much on this one, but on the red fabric, definitely. So now, we want to check that it's on the grain line. And how you check that it's on the grain line, as shown by the wonderful Justine a few lessons ago, is you do that like that, and you have that measurement. That's 9 inches. Oh, it's just a little bit. So a little bit. What's that one? That one says 9.6, and this one says 9.6. That's it. It's on the fabric line. Right on. I could have done this a little bit closer to the edge so you get more use out of the rest of that fabric. Now we want to do, this is your hem neck, and then we want to do our joining the sleeve necks. There's one at the top, and then like same distance from either side. That's going to help us pin it into the shoulder pins that we did before. And then we do that, and you take that off so that you can get into the next stage, which is pinning the main parts of the bodice together and getting this baby put together. That's what we're going to do in the next lesson. It should be that simple and that fast. So I think our steps will be pinning the sleeves. Voila. Right on. The pinning is what saves you time in the sewing. It stops the fabric from moving as you're sewing, and you don't want the fabric to move. This fabric is a t-shirt stretchy kind of fabric, even though it is beautiful merino. it has the characteristics of that kind of fabric. Now, because I've put all my pins that way, I am going to sew that way. So I'll do my top stitch first, and then I'll do my overlocking. So I want to prep the small pieces, and then I want to prep the bigger pieces. So we're going to pin the front and the back together. So next one is we're going to lie this down. I'm going to bring this baby out. So easy peasy. We want to pin the front and the back together. Whoop. So I've got my tunics up on here and that one in there. So we want to get it so that they all line up. Now, if I think about how I'm going to attack this, I want to pin the shoulder first. So I'm going to start with the opening of the shoulder. I'm going to pin those so I know that they're lined up, you know, and it's the smallest seam or join that I can find that I can easily line up. So starting with that, then I'm going to, there's my nicks. Oh, beautiful. They are lining up beautifully. Good little markers that you're on the right track. Now next stage, I want to pin, I've got a nick here, so I'm going to line those up and I'm going to pin it the same way as I'm doing the other one. Perfect, which means my neckline should line up, and it does. Oh, this is looking great. So that's one side done, and now I'm going to get on and do the other side. So again, I'm going to start with my sleeve join because it's my smallest. So whichever way you're going to direct your pins, make sure it's the same all the way through. I've got my nicks there and so they're all going down, and my necks are lining up there. So I'm going to do one there, and I'm just going to add an extra one there because I can feel a little bit of movement in the fabric in that part, and I don't want that to do that. So, and this fabric does move a little bit. And all you need to do is add more pins, that's it. Nothing to be terrified about. It's just a little bit of prep. Makes it easy when you get to the machine. And there are my necks lined up there. So, now back to the shoulder. Get that join lined up, and then this join lined up, and there we have it pinned, ready to go through, do our top stitches and then our zigzag or overlock, and put the final pieces together. All right, see you in the next lesson.